Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cloudy Sheep and we are playing the Return of the Russian Revolution, playing as non-aligned Russia, so just Russia, plain old Russia, against the Soviet Union, because we are playing the officers that revolted against Stalin. As you can see, it's been a week into the revolution, and we managed to close the gap between Belarus and the rest of our territory, and thereby also cut off the Soviets in the Ukraine. So that's our first good success, but we'll have to see a bit about that. Let's briefly take a look at where the war stands. Losses are not that material yet. About 2,000 for us, about half of that for the Soviets. Divisions is pretty balanced, as we know, although they have a lot more factories. I'm not too concerned about the loss ratio yet, because as you can see down here, we also probably very soon gonna pop a lot of divisions, so maybe it's gonna be alright. Let's briefly scroll through the front here to make sure there's no unit that is stuck somehow, even though it should be moving. It doesn't seem to be like that. And we are trying to reinforce Vitebsk over here, and we are trying to push towards Moscow. It would be a great advantage, but right now we're not doing that. Also, I realized we haven't that much in terms of Sverdlovsk over here, and that would be an excellent target. So what I would like to do is take our Urals army over here and modify its orders a little bit, just to make sure it's a bit more focused on the area up here. So I would like it to advance towards this river line over here. And that should be dandy. Good. Whereas down here, most of these guys are advancing, even though it's not quite as critical that they should be. But I mean, we can try to grab the mountain provinces at least. Very soon, we'll also be able to deploy our divisions. We received minimal training, really 7 days of training. They're now at 5%, at 10% we can deploy them. And we will, because we simply need warm bodies at the front, so that's really the most important bit here. And over here, I guess we can slightly modify this front line, just to be more reflective of what's going on over here. You're going over there, and then I think it would be fine for me if you could take that airport, even though it's not quite as critical. Speaking of airports, I think we discovered that we had a couple of fighters left over, so it might make sense to me to briefly pop into this overview and place a new air wing of about 200 fighters over here, and tell them to be indeed deployed over the Ukraine on day duty and on air superiority duty. And these are really old type of fighters, but nevertheless it's something that we can afford. What else do we have? We do have a couple of bombers, even strategic bombers, and that's interesting. So yeah, let's take 100 interwar tactical bombers. We'll be likewise bombing, or providing close air support, I should rather say, in the area of the Ukraine. Good. My apologies for my voice. Right, naval bombers we could send out down there, but I don't think it's that worthwhile. Soon we'll have to stabilize the northern front over there, but for now we are really trying to squash in, conquer the Ukraine, and be done with that. Also, let's briefly look at the things down here, and that looks pretty much alright, I think so. Not something that we need to modify that much. Right, let's get back into the game. Keep it running. Can accelerate it slightly now. The tank army, the one that is supposed to push in over here, doesn't really have any orders right now. We can advance. This really should fall very soon, come on. Of course, a big problem is that it is winter, and winter is very harsh in these conditions, so yeah, there's not a lot going on. Or this is really difficult for many of our units to fathom. You're trying to conquer that. I think you might want to attack, but maybe we'll give that a second. You know what, you can go directly this way. I think I appreciate that, because this guy's dashing towards Odessa. It would make me feel a little bit better if he wasn't so easy to cut off. And we're standing over here, you're going there. Maybe we can cut off these two guys? And I think they just discovered the next encryption tech, so they're a little bit better on that now as well. Right, 2 infantry divisions. I think one will be trying to go to Moscow, and one is going to try to cut off this mountaineering division. Over here, yeah, I think that looks pretty much alright. We'll need to stabilize that by quite a bit, but yeah. And you know what, you can advance because you don't really have any enemy. You need to be a little bit mindful about this stuff down here, but maybe we'll simply shift things. Very nice, that pocket has been cleared. Are you advancing? Don't seem to be. Right, all of these guys are still trying to catch up really with the front, so you on the other hand can attack now, and that's going to be lovely. And maybe we can take this cavalry division and go along the southern bank really of the river over here. I'm not sure what river that is. I don't know. We'll see. Right, down here this attack really goes nowhere. However, I guess what we could do, we could support it basically. Firstly, we could try to cut these guys off. I think that's the most important bit actually. You're a bit in a locked situation, but you guys can both attack this one. Right. Yeah, that looks good. Good. Over here, these guys have in fact encircled that position over there, which I very much appreciate. You need to advance a little. And you guys are low on organization. But I think we'd want to increase our position up there, so in fact I'm gonna remove one of these guys from over here and tell it to be part of this front line. And you know what, in fact we are gonna point that towards... damn it, I'd like to use really not our fast guys, not these two really. But we are so low on troops, so maybe it's just gonna have to wait a little bit. But you know what, one cavalry we'll take and we'll send it up there. And it's gonna be this front line. And you two are gonna be assigned to that. And in fact we've added that to include this bit, just to make sure that this encirclement stays up. Down here I think it's going to be a little bit better once this encirclement here has commenced, or at least is cut off. You're attacking that, that's looking fine. Cavalry is advancing, as is this tank army, though it's having difficulty crossing due to the river I think, yeah, large river, and the infrastructure isn't that great. You're supporting the attack, I appreciate that, let's keep up good work. You know what, you can actually advance into this one instead, so cut them off wherever you can. Take the airport. Right, oh, 3 military factories, very lovely to see. I think we only really have like tanks that are missing, and some of that is due to the fact that we are training, I believe, a division. That's only 50. You know what, let's cancel that production because it's not going anywhere, but produce a little bit more. So there's no shortage on any of these things, so I think 5 armies, or 5 military factories on this would be fine. Infantry equipment, again, we are producing a lot. Actually I want to increase that a little bit because very soon, in 60 days, we are going to get a new one, so that's going to be very helpful. We lost a couple of submarines, but the Soviets lost a light cruiser. So all in all, a pretty good situation, I think. And yeah, there's that. Right, I did see a mountain division that was not busy. you here. Can you maybe try to advance over there? I think that's alright. Good. Cavalry division over here. Okay, so these guys have pretty much vacated their position, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's going to be alright. Right, so yeah, so the tanks, I guess you can run into here as well. Yep, more military factories. So we need to take a little bit of a more long-term view. I think it makes sense to build some anti-air, some artillery. Oh no, sorry, we do have artillery, so we can run that second line, but then another anti-tank line. That's fine. Yeah, we actually are conquering military factories comparatively quick right now, so that's alright. Let's start to build more artillery as well, because it's going to be very helpful at least. You are advancing, you know what, you can get rid of that, you can just generally be advancing. That's perfect. Good. Yeah, well, you broke out, but to some degree that was to be expected. Up over here, you seem to be winning, so I don't want to preclude that too much. You know what, you guys maybe shouldn't be attacking into the city. Maybe you should be attacking this one. And you could maybe get over here, and someone needs to clean that up at some point. Over here you are right, let's simply clear that up as fast as we can. It is not very fast, mind you, but still a little bit better than we can expect. Yeah, we are starting to see some forces down here now, but I think we're gonna be alright. Specifically this front really is a bit more focused in the south than I would like, but then again the north here seems to be collapsing pretty strongly, so I'm not too concerned about that. Right, over here, and see what we can and or should be doing. So firstly, I think you might want to make that dash. I think it's a bit quicker than through the forest. You be doing that, and maybe try to cut off the tank, just for the lols, and to make their life a little bit more difficult. Right, this tank then. You have decent organization, but against so many infantry divisions in unfavorable terrain, I think it's not worth it, so let's try to get out of there. And you guys can just advance as fast as you can, I think. Yeah, we really should be crashing these guys. Right, what else have we got? Oh, no template, so because we are producing anti-tank stuff, anti-air stuff primarily, and that isn't really used. And I think you need to stop your advance. There's too much opposition right now. So yeah. Okay, you are all attacking, and you're actually in combat, so I think that's fine. Now a little pocket up here. Good stuff. And you know what, you guys can take over. Maybe you'll be a little bit quicker than these guys, and therefore be able to just cut them off. That would be a huge win. We might even overrun them. Let's keep an eye on Moscow as well. 75%. You are taking this somewhat successfully, I have to say. Yeah. Not looking too bad. And the tank is now advancing to over there. So you know what? Let's try to keep it busy. It's encircled, so great penalty. It's not actually doing that much more damage than we are, so it's good to see. And very soon it will probably be out of supply, so that's good. And we are nearly on the gates of Moscow. That's such a big win if we manage to do that. So to get that a bit more straight. You could be advancing to over here. And you maybe do over there. 3 divisions. I always kind of feel like the encirclements gather too many divisions to guard them, as opposed to advancing further onwards. But all in all, it's alright. Oh, look at that! Some tanks that aren't busy, and some cavalry that isn't busy. You know what? I think I actually should send the tank upwards, and this cavalry downwards. Good stuff. That looks fairly well. This looks very good. Just killing a tank division like that would be extremely good. This I'm not too convinced about. We are not producing so much more winning than they are, but at least once they do fall, and it does allow us to advance our infantry divisions. Let's keep an eye on over here. You're advancing to this? Yes, you are. So that means you should be going there. And you might want to be going there. Yeah, that's a pretty good choice. You're going there, then you might be going this way. You should be going there. I don't want to do too much over here. Yeah, more divisions arriving from all over the place, really. Let's try to get to Sverdlovsk itself. I really want to pop these guys. Ooh, this is becoming a dangerous situation as well. Actually, yeah, they're trying to cut us off here. And they will be doing that. So you can't attack this way. You need to guard our rear. You need to counter-envelop them. Right, so, well, in terms of time, 14 days, so we could pretty much very soon pop you guys. Yes, we can. So let's do that. Keep in mind, we now have an army of 570,000, and just like that, we have a division, an army of 900,000, because we got 45 new divisions. Now, mind you, these divisions have abysmal training. They're really green. They had 11% training. They really had really basic training. But then again, you know, they are not that bad a template. In fact, we should be changing our templates now. So if you have a look at these, I think, is it you? No, I think it must be you. Right. So no, they have a combat with it of only 18 and support artillery. So it's all right, I think, to have these units. Right. So let's try to make sure that these are assigned to the correct places. Specifically, of course, the second army up over here, I think, is way under strength. Yeah, you can see it's 9 divisions out of 24. So what we want is really something close. Come on, keep deselecting. So 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You gentlemen are part of the second army now, and I'm going to assign you towards the attack in Moscow. Much stronger army now, should hopefully be helpful. Right, that's only 15 units, and there are 30 more. I think we really need to beef up our all-over defenses somewhat. So I think what we're going to do is take about half of these. Can I split you? Yeah. Oh no, wait. We have also, of course, other armies. So the third army, yeah, a lot of you will be assigned to the third army. Split. Let's take you towards the third army, and back 2 more, just to be on the clean side to really fill out our capacity over here. So this third army group, I would like to position them over here, and they'll be really responsible for this side of the front. Assign it over there. 17 divisions. fact, we have also assign you to over here, and you can advance over there. Well, let's try to advance you like such. And then, come on, Third Army. You can delete this defensive line. Good. Select all of these guys and define an offensive line, because of course we'll need to push a little bit. And I think the most important will be down here to sort of make this more a little bit cleaner, really. Good. That does leave us at 13 more divisions, which I think are not required down here on the Urals army though. That would certainly be appreciated, so let's again take half of those. So I need you over here, and that I think is fine. And you guys will be on the reserve army, although you're not strictly reserve units. Although you know what? We're actually going to assign you to a new army, which will be responsible for this part of the front. And you'll get a pretty straightforward, just straight in the line order. Part of this army group, which is responsible for this sort of area. And of course you'll get an a general, of whom we don't have that many good ones, but that's alright. Good. Okay, very nice. I like to see that. So let's modify our templates a little bit. So I think the most important will be to get this division template and just bring it up to combat root of 20 strength. Just add a little bit of infantry to that, and that I think should be fine. So yeah, that's the first change that we're going to make. Means that all of our infantry guys will be growing some more equipment, especially infantry equipment, but of those we should have a lot. Not quite as much as I think I thought we did, so in fact we'll need to change up the production of this considerably for the future. Right, but on the other hand, of course, you know, a lot of this is due to the fact that we are still producing or training 45 divisions. Most of which don't seem to have the equipment, I realize. Let's wait a little second, maybe there's some funky design. Anyway, with this second week, pretty much, a little bit more, maybe, we seem to be making progress on the Ukraine. I think we actually are at the gates of Moscow and making some nice encirclements. I'm really worried about the situation down here, but all in all it seems to be fine. And here at least seems stable, we are not immediately collapsing, so all of that seems to be okay. Caucasus really isn't the most important front. You here can just try to cut this off. And you, my friend, I think you should be going like such. Once you arrive, please just go this way. No idlers anywhere, just more squashing of some districts. Oh, you I guess can go over there, try to capture that and encircle that. And these tanks, I believe, should be coming this way. Although, you know, this will be so quickly won that I think you can just try to advance through that. That's alright. And up here we need to be a bit careful because I don't want to lose all of these units. But yeah, all in all, looking pretty well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye!